morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fusion Talks. Today, we are joined by a very special guest, Nadine Zidani, founder and CEO of MENA Impact, a certified B Corp driving social and environmental innovation across the region. Nadine is also a LinkedIn top voice, keynote speaker, and a host of Impact Talk, with over 15 years of experience at the intersection of governance, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. Thank you for joining us today, Nadine.
Thank you for having me, Yasmine. It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise, in today's episode, we are going to explore how MENA Impact is building a stronger ecosystem for change. We'll discuss entrepreneurship as a tool for systems transformation and dive into the power of storytelling in shaping purpose-driven business. So let's start with the story behind MENA Impact. Ready, Nadine?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm so excited to explore with you the building of the impact ecosystem in MENA. What was the spark that inspired you to found MENA Impact?
So it started quite simply. I wanted to solve real problems and make an impact in our region. So MENA Impact began as a consultancy working with startups, corporates, and governments on sustainability-related projects. But while I was doing this work, I realized something important. There was no real impact ecosystem in our region. And what I mean by that is basically a space where people working on environmental and social challenges can connect, collaborate, and grow together. So MENA Impact then shifted into a community-powered platform that drives sustainability and social innovation in the region. At the core of our work is a curated, founders-first community that is surrounded by impact enablers and partners who co-create solutions for some of our pressing challenges in the region. So our mission is basically to build the impact ecosystem in the region.
And I believe this word ecosystem is so powerful because by default, it is a synergy of partnership. At core, it is not silos, like you have different threads.
Yes.
You are already gluing the connectivity across all key pillars that can drive impact together and really only together.
Absolutely, and that's, and especially when you start working with very different entities, very different sectors, this is where you see the gaps and the missed opportunities. So it was hard also for us, honestly, to kind of shift from a super traditional, consultancy business model to, oh my God, we're going to go into this uncharted territory and saying like, oh, we're a community, a platform, ecosystem. But actually the feedback we are getting so far are really, really good because people spot the problem and they're like, yeah, you are solving a real problem in this ecosystem.
Yeah, you saw the void, you're filling it with something meaningful, and all the players that can support each other, lean on each other, or drive this movement forward. Excellent. Why do you believe the MENA region holds such untapped potential for social and environmental innovation?
Our region faces big challenges. Just to name a few: social inequalities, youth unemployment, water scarcity, desertification, food waste, and many more. So sustainability is a necessity for us. At the same time, we have a huge human capital. We have one of the world's youngest and entrepreneurial population.
Yes.
So over 50% of people in the Arab world are under the age of 30. So that means that we have an amazing source of talent, creativity, and energy that we can tap into. So on one hand, we have challenges, but when we see challenges, we also see opportunities to solve them. So this is where I believe local entrepreneurs, people who are very close to those realities, those communities, can create solutions that drive real change, and that solutions that are inclusive of people, the planet, and also foster a better economy. So, I really believe honestly that our region can become a global hub for environmental and social innovation.
That's superb, and I like it that you are, promoting the pool of local talent who are well versed in the context, in the culture, in the nuance, and as well pairing innovation with tradition. But instead of just importing solution, you're propelling them to take pride and to solve something they are immersed in.
That's very important to me, Yasmine. Super, super important. It's a very important driver, and that's why also our name, as a company, is MENA Impact. Like I'm a supporter. I vouch for our region, for our people. I really believe in the potential of our people. So whenever I meet, founders, entrepreneurs, in the UAE, in Egypt, or in Lebanon, I really, I support them. And that's why, we are building this community, and we really want to give them all the resources, the connections that they need to make an impact and build very strong ventures.
Yeah, to boost their capabilities. And how can collaboration across private, public, and community sectors truly scale the impact movement?
Collaboration, as you know, is crucial for sustainability and impact in general. So on one hand, you have the government. The government creates an enabling environment through policies, incentives, and national priorities and strategies. On the other hand, you have businesses that you know very well.
Yes.
So businesses, we do expect them to integrate sustainability into their core operations and kind of move away from CSR, honestly,
Yes.
corporate social responsibility.
We have to.
Yeah,
It's time.
we have. And to really use it as a driver for innovation, competitiveness, and long-term growth.
And at scale, because sometimes of their
100%.
size, reach.
And lastly, as you mentioned, non-profit and communities. And they help us actually to be closer to the communities and to shape solutions that are inclusive and grounded in the reality. So when you bring those forces together, this is when you can move from isolated projects to systemic change.
Yes.
And that's what we are trying to do at MENA Impact. We are building those bridges, connecting the dots, and making sure that collaboration turn into measurable impact.
Fabulous. And the last time I was engaging with someone in a consultancy, he told me it is about now 4 Ps, not only 3 Ps, which is the public-private partnerships, but philanthropy is the key access that we need to, demand more support from. And this is now the new equation. Are you sensing something around this that the community is seeking or is in need? Are we really being showered, let's say, by philanthropy behind sustainability, not only like welfare or salvage?
I agree, actually, and we look into more and more into philanthropy. I don't know if you remember at COP28, which was hosted by the UAE, there was at the beginning, and we were invited, there was a forum on philanthropy and business. Okay. So really bringing together, those two worlds. And that was the start actually of a deeper conversation also around impact investing and what's the role of philanthropy and how philanthropy can be more strategic, because philanthropy is here to make an impact, to support communities, people, and also the environment, and make a measurable impact. And this is where actually it gets harder for them because of how it has been built in the past decades. And this is where we need more what we call strategic philanthropy. So I see it as a major, in my field, as where we work with impact entrepreneurs and founders, it's an amazing it's an amazing driver and support, especially for early stage founders. You know, a lot of them struggle to access capital. So they need most of the time grants, you know,
Yes.
to start and, you know, find a viable model, you know, until like at least 4 to 5 years. This is where philanthropy, so it's very heavily reliant on the government for now. And this is where philanthropy can bring actually a lot of support to them. But for them, it means also like, so it's not, we are not anymore giving money to non-profit, we are giving money to something in between. Those guys, they make money, but at the same time, they make an impact. So it's kind of a little bit new to them.
Yes.
So it needs, you know, I'd love to see
More
like
structure.
more like, I don't know, percentage of capital. And you see big foundations doing it, like the Bill Gates foundations.
Yes.
So most, and in the region, I mean, we have the culture of giving. It's really part of us. So I would love to see more of, you know, those high net worth individual philanthropy foundations, like stepping into impact entrepreneurship and saying like, oh, those people are really doing a great job and they can really create impact, measure it, and be very tangible about it, how we can step in and support.
I think now we are pathing through interesting times to further amplify the voice behind this, because a lot of high net worth businesses, families, individuals are coming to the UAE. And the vision of sustainability in the UAE is very progressive, and it is a hub for entrepreneurs and innovation. So I think there's the fertile soil to just put things in perspective together and maybe workshop it or have this ask, but more
I agree, and you know, a very
at
good
the forefront.
Yeah, and a very good signal is the, you know, the appointment of the creation of the special envoy for philanthropy and business. Not sure if you heard about it. It was a couple of months ago.
Okay.
So following what happened at COP28, we were like, I think they created a really great platform, and we are like, how we can really make that part of, you know, the national strategy, and how, you know, we can have someone dedicated to, you know, creating those bridges between business and philanthropy. So I'm very hopeful that more will come, and at least, you know, there is a clear focus from the government into that.
Yeah, so other than VCs, we have this vein that can pump as well hope and the seeds of change to resurrect. So, what challenges do impact-driven entrepreneurs face here that are different from Europe or North America?
I try to not compare us to Europe or the USA, honestly, because we live in a very different social, economic, environmental context. So I'm not really keen for comparison. But what I can say is that impact entrepreneurship is at its early stage in our region. Whenever I have, you know, it's funny, whenever I try to explain to people what we do and also talk about the work of our community, our impact entrepreneurs, I often get the same reaction. Oh, it's non-profit. It's a non-profit type of work. You're running a non-profit organization. I'm like, no, actually, we are businesses. We are businesses. So it's really hard for people to connect the two. Super hard. So I think the market needs a lot of education around it. We really need to explain that impact entrepreneurs, they sit in between traditional businesses and the non-profits. So, and really explain what balancing purpose and profit means and why they're important, why we should value their work, support them, and create an environment where they can thrive.
And maybe what is impact? To really dissect, what does it mean when we say impact? Maybe for some people it's still ambiguous. Like it comes with the connotation of something positive, but maybe as well it needs to be associated with the various examples that really explain and showcase what is impact in our life, in business, how it touches community, how it can touch the environment, so that they can have this association, to have deeper faith in it, and in the end it spills over to touch all of us. So
You're right. I think we need a broader definition of impact. But I think people get it. People get that they're doing something good. They are doing something
Yeah,
good for
this the
people
positive
and
connotation.
the planet. But still, I think in our subconscious,
Yeah.
doing good means
Gratuit.
charity. I don't know why. I know why. Honestly, I'll give
The
you my example.
cultural
The culture, and I think it's not just here.
giving, abundance, generosity.
I think it's not just here in the region. When I look at my parents, like work was work. It's hard, it's whatever it is work. You don't challenge it, it's work. And then, they spend a lot of energy, money, supporting people. I saw it supporting people. We're living in France, supporting people in Morocco, supporting our family, giving. So it's kind of two things that are, not related. There is no connection between the two. We come with, no, actually we can do good and do well. I can actually make money and make a positive impact on people and the planet. So I think it's still on our subconscious, something like, no, money is money.
Yeah, I think this needs more awareness, education, and not only, for the social fabric of professionals, but even to step back and start as well including this in education in
100%.
schools so
Yeah.
that they are groomed and nurtured to think that they are one powerful blend and melange, and that's how we can be change makers, impact leaders. So it's simply an amazing space driving MENA Impact. So let's dwell into entrepreneurship for systems change, and it's something you always talk about. Systems change, what does it mean in practice for our region?
It's a very good question. Let me give you an example. I hear often people saying, I love to help poor people, let's say. And I'm always kind of triggered by this type of statements because it makes you feel that there is one person above another. And when you say that, you frame the solution around, as we said, charity, generosity, and not justice.
Or equity.
Or equity. So I would rather frame it as I want to fight inequalities instead of I want to help the poor people. Because when you say inequalities, you acknowledge that you are in a position of privilege, that there is a gap between you and these people. And you start asking the questions, why actually there is such a gap? Because of probably, access to quality education, social status, access to healthcare, and many more. And this is when you start thinking about the system. What's wrong? What's failing in the system that's generated
Gaps.
both inequalities and gap, and AKA poor people. So for me, systems change is you go beyond the surface. You can stay to the surface and say, oh, I see poor people, so I'm going to give a little bit of money and try to help and support and stay, in my position of privilege, or reframe the narrative and say, I'm in a position of privilege, so I can actually challenge the status quo, challenge the system, understand how structures, systems, policies, power dynamics have worked actually, or failed to work and do what they are supposed to do.
How to create sustainable solutions and not only sprinkle some goodness here and there at a convenient time.
Yeah.
So grassroots change as well. Can you share a story of an entrepreneur or initiative that illustrates how system change starts small but scales?
I think I'm going to perhaps highlight what I see across the board.
Yes.
Working with impact-driven entrepreneurs. So they always go into uncharted territories. So whatever the field, from waste to social inclusion. So they find a problem, they go into it, and slowly they discover that policies or regulations are not in place, that the problem is actually much bigger than what they thought at the beginning. And in the UAE, let's talk about the UAE, we are both based in the UAE.
Sure.
Something that is for me extraordinary is that they always find themselves in rooms with policymakers, government officials to talk about those problems.
Super crucial.
Yeah, and it happens very often. It happened to me too on social and impact entrepreneurship. So many times I've been called to meetings to share my opinion about it. What are the issues? What can we do? And really have these very deep conversations that can trigger practical solutions. So that for me is systems change, because all of them have at some point the opportunity to contribute, influence,
to
policies,
listen, to include your voice, your experience, value it,
and to change the system at the end of the day. So, and that's, in my personal view, it's very unique. It's what I like. It's very progressive. It's very open. It happens in a very organic way. So honestly, like if I look at the entrepreneurs around me, those with whom I have like regular contacts, I'd say 90% of them found themselves at some point in such a room, influencing, policies and regulations.
This is really substantial, because to be able to create change, you need the support of the authority, the open-mindedness, the inclusion of, the real challenges in order to make the impact. Because really without the policies, the standards, the buy-in of the government facilitating the pathway, it will be hard to scale and deliver 100%. On the promise. How can founders balance the need for financial sustainability with bold long-term impact goals? And I think this is the dilemma.
This is the topic of the hour. This is very close to my heart, honestly, and I think you've seen me quite vocal about it. The only way to do it is to align how you generate revenues with your impact goals. What does it mean is that the more basically you make money, the more impact you create. That's anyway, most of the time, how the business model of an impact startup is built. And I think another one of my big advice to impact entrepreneurs is to not give their services for free. That's, I think, a trap in which most of them fall at the beginning.
Okay.
Why? Because it boils back to what we said about CSR. Because businesses are used to working with traditional other businesses, very profit-driven, when you come with your amazing new solution, service that do good for the environment, for people, we want to tell you, this is amazing, but I don't want to pay for it, or can we do a pilot for free, or, let's see how it goes. They see the value, but they don't want to invest in it. And I've seen that happen to companies where they're like, but it's okay, just a pilot, just POC, and then no, you actually give very bad perception to the clients that this type of services can be for free, and then you're going to struggle to monetize. And it has also an impact on the whole ecosystem. Because if Yasmine goes and say, you know what, it's okay, I'm going to give it for you for 3 months, 6 months, and you go to another client, you do the same, because you're just trying actually to make business. I come after you with whatever, type of service. You're going to say, no, but that's for free, guys, because I got it for free from Yasmine. Why should I pay?
So it dilutes the opportunity to monetize.
100%. So that's my, honestly, lately to all the startups, all the workshops that I'm doing with startups, I say to them, be very careful. You're sending the wrong signal when you give your services pro bono for free.
Noted. So, what role do women and youth play in accelerating these transformations?
We don't have a lot of data about it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to quantify at this stage. But I say that what I know is that globally, over almost 50% of social enterprises are led by women. And youth are super attracted to social entrepreneurship because it really helps them to connect with, to do a work that is aligned with their purpose and at the same time, make a living out of it. So they're definitely playing a crucial role. And I think as women, and you tell me if you relate to it, we are very connected to the communities around us. We are naturally in service, of others.
Nurturers.
Very, yes. So I think it's so natural. When you look at myself, I mean, it's just so natural.
It is in sync.
Yeah, it's alignment with who we are and what do we want to bring, to the planet, to people around us. So it's very, it sounds so natural. We are naturally inclusive. We want to do good. Of course, we want also to do well and make money. It's not
and
debatable.
Regenerative, even biologically.
Exactly. Yes.
Mentally.
If you look at the nature, our cycles and how women's body work, it's very natural.
Beacon of life, and in the end, sustainability as well. It's for, the livelihoods, life longevity, life on earth. So, love it. So, I love the side of you which is behind storytelling. And in Fusion Minds, we really care to shed light on profiles who are leveraging the power of stories and their voice to create awareness and to channel the communication which, opens the minds and resonates with the hearts and shift the narrative when it comes to impact and sustainability. So you are a strategist and a wonderful storyteller. How does storytelling help scale impact?
I think in my own journey, stories really helped me to do what am I doing right now. It's not only about studying about sustainability and all the concepts and all of that. I spent a lot of my time 5 years ago listening to podcasts.
Okay.
And listening to stories of people who have been working in the corporate world for like over a decade and then decided to oh no, I really want to live a purposeful life. So let me step into sustainability, charter a new career path and do something different. And I heard so many stories and all those stories inspired me. I was like, if I can do it, why not me?
Exactly.
So storytelling is super powerful, and we are not leveraging it enough, especially in the impact space. I always say to founders, why you don't talk about your personal story? Why you don't link your personal story to your business story? And they are usually super shy about it, and all of them, the more you get to know them,
the green hushing.
The more you know them, the more you realize that there is a real story behind it.
Yeah, just bring it to life.
Exactly.
Inspire others, touch minds.
Something super personal. They're like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, no, that's what is going to make people.
Raison d'être.
Yeah, come to you and work with you, because they're gonna really connect to your story and why and why you're doing it. So that's why I started Impact Talk podcast. I'm like, I love stories. I want to hear more stories of entrepreneurs. I want them to inspire more, new entrepreneurs in the region. And another reason is that I did not come across a lot of stories from our region. Okay. So it's good to listen to stories, in Europe or, the USA, but when you live in the region and when you want to create an impact in the region, you want to hear stories from people
that
like
you relate
that you can relate to.
Exactly.
I want stories from Lebanon, from Egypt, from the UAE, from Saudi.
So let's break barriers when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah, it's a super powerful tool. And I think we're just honestly scratching the surface.
To tune in.
Yeah.
What narratives about MENA do you feel need to change most urgently? Doom and gloom.
Wow. I think one thing that's bothered me until now is the fact that we put all Arabs in one box,
One stereotype, maybe.
one stereotype. Especially, I lived in Europe, so just to give you an anecdote, when I was working in France, one of my managers told me not once or twice, "You're Egyptian." I'm like, "No, I'm Moroccan." He said, "It's okay, you're all the same anyway." So many times I heard that. We're all the same, from Morocco to Palestine to Saudi, we're all the same. And I think that's something that needs to change. Of course, we have a lot of connections, we same language, values, a lot of stuff that connect us as a beautiful, big, powerful region. But we are also
We have uniqueness.
We have a lot
there
of
is contrast.
Yes.
Even in the same country sometimes.
In terms of identity, dialects, we all speak different dialects.
Exactly.
And I don't like, especially in the West, how we perceive, Arabs are just, one population.
Has your own podcast, Impact Talk, shaped your understanding of what leaders and communities are hungry to hear?
It's hard to say. I love podcasts.
Yeah.
And I still believe my podcast is a work in progress. We started by telling the stories of entrepreneurs, and we're going to continue telling those stories because I really loved them. But we also want to bring more voices from the ecosystem. Lately we had an investor because I know that people are very keen to learn more about, the investments world and how, they support startups and all of that. We'll have more discussions on that, more policy makers also. So we're trying to bring very different voices from the impact ecosystem on the platform. But it takes really a lot. I mean, you're having a podcast. It takes a lot of time to really understand what resonates with the audience, how to package the message. That's something I learned. It's not only about the content and the guests, it's also how do you package the message in a world where attention is scarce, where it's
scrolling,
people
zapping.
Keep scrolling. So it's really hard when you come with very deep topics, what we do. So how can I grab their attention? How can I make sure that they come to my podcast and we just don't go to a podcast with celebrities talking about their lives, and really bring them, into, real content where they can learn something that can inspire them. So I think we also, as a podcaster, I also want to challenge myself and always think is it the right topic? Am I telling the story the right way?
Bring more value.
How can I bring more value? How can we do more content on social media? So honestly, it's super hard. It's a
responsibility.
It is. I take it. Thank you. I take it as a responsibility.
Yeah,
I really want to make sure that
you.
the message makes sense, is accurate, bring value. So I'm really also very careful about the guests that who I invite on my podcast. But to see the resonance from the audience side, you get feedbacks, you see views, this kind of stuff, but I feel it's still a little bit early to. It needs time, and
it's beyond the analytics. It's really listening as well to direct feedback from people, and understand what do they appreciate and what do they still want to listen. What is still missing? So, are you ready, Nadine, for a quick fire closing?
Yes.
So, impact in one word.
Change.
A book or thinker who has shaped your perspective?
Probably The Prophets, Khalil Gibran.
I love Khalil Gibran.
I love the chapter when he says, your children are not your children. I think that's really a philosophy of life for me. I don't own people, work, or even my company. And I really like that.
Unleashed. One system you'd love to see transformed in your lifetime.
How we invest in women, startup led by women.
Impact driven women.
Only 2%
Yes,
of
so
investments of VC investments go to women. So I think that's something I would love to see change.
Inshallah. A moment you felt the power of community most deeply.
I think the first MENA Impact community gathering that we had, it was amazing. It was online, but the energy was amazing, and you really could feel that people were so happy to come together, so happy to share their story, what we are working on, and be like, oh, I'm so happy to finally find, like-minded people and be part of this movement. So, yeah.
And seeing it manifested. If you weren't building MENA Impact, what would you be doing today? Do you have other passion which is still at the back of your mind?
I think I will still be in the same, I would say, environment, but maybe doing two options. Either working for a startup, I'd love that, or working for a VC firm.
Okay. So still swimming in the ecosystem.
Yeah, I don't think I can leave this ecosystem.
Nadine, thank you so much for sharing your vision, your journey, your heart. I admire what you do and this drive that, started to build up inside you and you brought it to life. And you are bringing us all on board via your impact community. So hats off to this passion. I hope it creates fire in the hearts and minds of many startups, impact entrepreneurs, and as well ignite some businesses and family businesses and even the older established legacy businesses to, sense meaning, to really shift gears and start moving forward closer to impact, which really helps safeguard the legacy of what they are doing and what they are doing. So would you like to say anything to the audience listening to this talk before we wrap up?
I mean, thank you so much first, Yasmine. Thanks for creating such a platform where entrepreneurs like myself, people in this space can come and talk about their work. I think my message is look at entrepreneurs around you, support them, help them. It can be as simple as just talking about the work they do, liking their posts on social media, any type of support. Entrepreneurship is extremely hard, and I think it's even harder in the impact space. So when you see people doing something great, buy their products, talk about their work, support them on social media, simple stuff that can really make a difference.
Wonderful. Really support, be it big or small, but this is an act that uplifts spirits and reinforces faith that we are on the right track, just one step at a time and one challenge at a time. Thank you so much for your valuable time. So happy that you join us at Fusion Talk. Until next time, ciao. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmine.
I love that.